Seth Rollins just revealed the plans for his return, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also see what's going on with Damian Priest, the Judgment Day, and more. Starting things off with what appears to be more continued bad luck for the members of the Judgment Day. The first big injury the group suffered this year came back in June, when Liv Morgan went down with an unexpected and freakish shoulder injury. That caused Liv Morgan to miss a majority of the second half of the year, but she was able to make a return at Survivor Series. But only a few days after Liv Morgan returned and the group was at full strength again, JD McDonough suddenly went down with an injury that required surgery, and now he's going to miss some months of action. And fans are fearful that this injury bug with the Judgment Day struck again during this weekend's AAA event. Fans noticed that Dominik Mysterio had a pretty rough landing from a DDT that he took from his father, Rey Mysterio, and the rumor is that Dominik's shoulder is banged up. However, the extent of the apparent shoulder injury is unknown at this time. It could be something minor that will recover on its own in a few weeks' time, or worst case scenario, you're probably looking at a situation like Liv's, where the surgery would have to be done, and you'd have to miss several months of action. So fans are kind of holding their breath right now, hoping for the best, because all these recent injuries to the Judgment Day are absolutely brutal. Everyone was excited about Liv coming back because finally the stalling could be over with. Now we could see some big progression to Liv and Dominik's relationship, as well as progression for all the other Judgment Day narratives. But if Dominik Mysterio is now required to miss some time, that big storyline there will once again have to be put on hold. And not to mention the fact that Dominik Mysterio is a double champion. So if he's going to miss time, that means that 2 titles would have to be vacated on top of all of that. The details aren't known at this time. The word going around is that he's hurt, but hopefully it's not anything that's drastic or serious, because losing Dominik would be tragic for the Judgment Day, WWE, and Triple H. He's making a lot of big moves right now and is involved in a lot of different things, so his absence would definitely be felt. The Aleister Black and Damian Priest feud just surpassed the 6-month mark this week. These two men have been exclusively feuding with each other for half of 2025. That's 6 entire months, 50% of the calendar year, but it's still very difficult to recall any memorable moments or any actual story going on here. It all started with R-Truth and Aleister Black before morphing into Damian Priest standing up for R-Truth. But R-Truth's role in this feud disappeared, and Truth went back to doing his usual comedy act. So fans have been confused about what Damian and Aleister are still fighting about and why it's spilling into the new year. Fans are mixed on this feud right here. A lot of fans find it dreadful, stagnant, and hurting both men's momentum more than anything else. But there's a group of fans that are actually defending the feud, saying that it feels like an old school feud, how it's long term, and how fans need to be more patient. And if you want to defend it with a long term booking excuse and narrative, that's fine. But even with long term storylines, you have to show some progression along the way. The story has to stay advancing and moving from place to place. That just hasn't been the case here for this story at all. The last big advancement was probably Zelina Vega joining the fold. That was an exciting addition to the feud. People were excited to see a new power couple on screen, but it feels like they quickly let that momentum fizzle out as well and didn't do much with it. And since then, it's been very stagnant. It's hard to explain where this feud's going. It's hard to summarize why they're still even feuding with each other. It's very hard to find basic logic in this program right here. But here is the one fan theory floating around that could actually turn things around for the program and give us a pretty decent payoff. And this is the theory of Damian Priest falling in line and joining Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. The feud is endless. Damian Priest maybe realizes he can't escape Aleister Black. So this leaves Damian Priest with only one big option. Can't beat them, join them. Damian Priest decides that Aleister Black and Zelina are right about everything, and he decides to stop fighting it and instead combine their forces. This action would actually give purpose to Aleister Black and Damian Priest's long feud in retrospect, because it was all about slowly breaking Damian Priest down and getting him to give in to what Aleister and Zelina were preaching to them. And in the end, it all worked out because Damian Priest eventually saw the light. This gives Aleister and Zelina's Necessary Evil group a new member and a great new enforcer for the group. Damian Priest is also great friends with Aleister Black and Zelina Vega in real life. So you got to imagine their chemistry on screen would be a very solid trio and would give them all something great to work with. It would also add some depth to the faction division on Smackdown. You already got the Wyatt Six and MFT running things on Smackdown for when it comes to factions. But if Necessary Evil adds Damian Priest, and maybe a few other members along the way, They all of a sudden are competing with Wyatt Six and MFT for that top faction spot on Smackdown. Having Damian join the group really would make their entire feud meaningful and give it that deeper purpose that it's been missing these entire last 6 months. So that's a big fan theory that fans are discussing right now, and it's not a bad one at all. It would redeem this feud in many different ways if they go down a route like that. But as of right now, that feud is continuing, and we'll have to see if it's heading anywhere of value after all. Seth Rollins recently spoke with Clutch Points, and he opened up and revealed his plans for when he returns to WWE in 2026. Seth noted that his injury has a 6-month recovery time frame, and judging off that 6-month time frame, it means that a WrestleMania 42 match is still possible for Seth Rollins. Seems like there's a little sliver of hope there for his WrestleMania status. But Seth noted that he does not have any primary target that he has his eyes on for when he returns. He said the only thing he has his eyes on during the return is the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth said he never lost the title, so he still views himself as the rightful World Heavyweight Champion in current day. So when he comes back, he wants to take the championship away from whoever is the phony champion in his eyes. Seth name-dropped CM Punk and Braun Breaker. He says that if it is Punk, Braun, or anybody else that's holding the title when he gets back, he will come for whoever's the champion at that point in time and take the title back from them. So Seth's comments were great, and it makes a lot of logical sense for him to go that route. He never lost the championship. But what Seth said in that interview does kind of contradict what he said on WWE television. After Seth Rollins was taken out by the Vision, Becky Lynch had the warning that Seth Rollins will come for everyone that's standing next to Paul Heyman once he returns. So 2 slightly different return plans there, but if Braun Breaker or another member of the Vision is the world champion when Seth comes back, he technically gets to do both routes at the same time. He'll be coming for the world title and coming after Paul Heyman's guys simultaneously. So that probably is the best route for Seth's return. Be on the lookout for Seth's return because it could be happening right around WrestleMania season, mid-2026, according to his recovery time frame. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.